Yo, what up people? So today's video is just gonna be a quick crash course on how to play the three modes in Siege: secure area, protect hostage, and bombs. Timestamps will be in the comment section in case you want to skip to a particular game mode. So starting off with secure area. So basically, like your name suggests, you need to defend this area and stop attackers from getting inside the same room as this box by any means necessary. You need to be inside the room as the objective box. If there's a room connected to that room, like the one here on the left or on the right, that doesn't count. This outline here is where the area is. Basically, any entry points to whatever room the box is in. So in terms of setting up and reinforcing, the best way to play is to reinforce all of the outside walls or to any connecting rooms that can stop attackers from reaching the objective room without having to come through any entry points. In terms of operators and gadgets, trap operators are a pretty good choice to go with because, like I said, to stop operators from getting into this room. Capcan is a pretty good one. I suggested him in the last video, so if you're wondering who you should play first as a beginner, you can check out that video there in the top right. But yeah, trap operators are pretty good for this game mode. You can either set them up by the entry points for the objective room or further away so the attackers kind of lose health, so by the time they get to the objective room they don't have much left. Barbed wire is a pretty good gadget. It slows down the attackers and it also keeps a lot of noise, so this lets you know which direction they're coming from. You can put this down like I said by the entry point or close to the objective room. Going back into reinforcements and barricading, if there are any floor hatches in the room, do not reinforce these. If anything, just leave them alone. If there are any experienced players on your team, they'll probably open one of these hatches. If they don't, just leave it alone. Do not reinforce these. And that's because I realized there are two types of beginner players in Siege: the ones that reinforce and barricade nothing at all and leave the room completely unprotected, or they reinforce and barricade everything and the room ends up looking like this. Barricading is important, but if your setup looks like this, you might want to start taking down some doors, because for attackers this is like shooting fish in a barrel. Sure, from a defensive standpoint, if they hit any doors, you'll see where they're coming from, but at the same time you can't get out. And that's why I said leave the hatches alone, because if they're reinforced, you don't have a way to escape. You're all trapped in this room. So if you actually open one of these floor hatches, you have a way to, get out of the room if things start to get a bit hectic, and you can always find your way back up. This is also another good operator for secure area. This is Frost. She has bear traps. If attackers step on these, it instantly downs them and holds them in place. She's a very good trap operator, personally one of my favorite defenders. Now, for the attacking side, if you're attacking one of these objective rooms, this is how it works. From the moment you step one foot into the objective room, this little circle at the bottom is going to start to fill up the entire circle, and well, basically you win the round. If a defender and an attacker is in the room at the same time, it's going to say contested and it's not going to move until one of you dies or steps back out of the room. So that's it for secure. Moving over to protect hostage, this one setting up is pretty similar to secure area. The only difference is, rather than having barbed wire by the entry points, put them around the hostage. If attackers come in the room, nothing is going to happen, but you should stop them from taking up the hostage by all means. So evenly distribute, barbed wire and gadgets and traps between entry points and around the hostage. And despite how obvious this setup looks, for some reason it works. I don't know why, but it does. Two big black bear traps and people still happen to step on them. But yeah, so this is an example of set up your traps between entry points and the hostage. And in terms of attacking, once you grab the hostage, just get to the nearest exit. The diamond that's above the hostage heads, the defender will not be able to see it as soon as you grab it. So yeah, just hit the nearest exit. If there's a window in the objective room, just jump out of there and get to one of the flares. Once you get a certain distance from the building, you're automatically gonna win. Defenders, if you see an attacker with the hostage running, you can actually still shoot them, but you need to be careful where you shoot, because when they're running, the hostage is actually behind them, and if you're not careful, well, you're actually going to kill the hostage, and that's going to be an automatic loss for your side. So lastly is going to be the bombs game mode, and this is the hardest because instead of one objective, you have to defend two. So in terms of defending for bombs, when the round starts, you're going to want to put a hole in between any walls between the two objectives. You can either do this with impact grenades or shotgun. Doing this is kind of a double-edged sword. It helps you because you can easily get in and out of both objective sites quickly, but the downside to this is if attackers push in, they can, they have lines of sight on both objectives now because of that hole that you made, but it kind of helps you more than it hurts you in this case. So in terms of reinforcement setting up, same as usual, reinforce all the outside walls, but if you are defending the bottom floor, remember I said leave those floor hatches alone. If you're defending on the bottom floor, sometimes it is pretty good to reinforce the floor hatch above you. For example, in the training room here we are now, if you reinforce this as a defender, you just have to worry about attackers pushing in from, basically horizontally. But for instance, if we blow this open and you're a defender, attackers can see all this space just from this floor hatch. So you don't have to worry about attackers pushing in from the side and above you. So in terms of attacking, it's best to drone out both bomb sites, and the one that is least defended is the one that you should go for. So for example, here we drone out this room. This is an example of why you should have holes into both objective rooms, not only to get in and out, but also for lines of sight. So for example, here you look in the room, let's just say all these walls are reinforced. You hop in and you plant. In this case now, as a defender, it's going to be hard for you because there's only like 3 possible options you can get in this room because you reinforced between both bomb sites, and the attackers are going to have eyes on all those entry points, so this is pretty much a loss for you. So if we redo this scenario, but this time we actually have, holes in the wall that you're supposed to be, if I swing it and try to plant, and there's a hole right here, if you were from a defensive standpoint, you could actually see that person swinging in, easily kill them and stop them from planting. As a defender, if you see this box drop, keep an eye on this. This could be the key to winning because they need to plant this in order to win or kill all 5 of you. So if you kill the attacker that has this box and you drop it, you basically want to camp it out and stop any other attacker from taking it up, because it's going to force them to, either have to look for all 5 of you to kill the entire team, or they're going to have to try to get that diffuser from you. And in terms of attacking, where you plant this diffuser actually matters because of a change that they made to the diffusing animation. So when planting this diffuser, you, if possible, plant it in an open area that you have eyes on it all the time, because like I said, they changed the diffusing animation. Before, defenders had to be pretty much on the box to defuse it and you could see them, but now they changed it to this wireless device, and as a result, defenders can actually defuse this from a pretty good distance away and you will never see them. So your only other option is to plant it in an open area, or if you have some pretty good headphones, you can actually hear the diffusing sound effect going off, like in these clips I'm about to show you.
1 op 4 remaining.
So don't plant this too close to any walls or any covers that defenders could safely defuse it and you won't see. So yeah, those are tips for playing the 3 game modes in Siege. If you found this video helpful, you can leave a like and share it around, or if you're an experienced player, comment down below any tips for any beginners, and subscribe for more Rainbow Six Siege tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.